Hello, this is Julie from Bubbleberry's class. Thank you for joining me. And today I have a little treat gift box for you. These are using the Painted Blooms Designer Series paper, and the little box has a lid that just slips open. They're a nice size. They measure 2.5 inches by 1 3/4 by 1.5, and they've got a little 3D butterfly on the front of them and some little flowers on the top, and I'm now going to show you how to make this. Put these to one side. So you'll need a piece of cardstock. I'm using Old Olive today, and this needs to measure 7.5 inches by 5.5 inches. I'm going to bring in my scoreboard, and as always, don't worry about any of the sizes or the scoring. There will be a link below. Click on that and it'll take you straight over to my blog, and all the details will be there for you. So with the long side of your card in the top of the scoreboard, we need to score at 1 inch, 2.5, 4 1/4 and 5 3/4. Rotating your cardstock so that now that the short side is in the top, we score again at 1.5 inches and again at 4. And then that's all the scoring done, so we can get the scoreboard out of the way. Then we can come along and just burnish all of our score lines that we've made, just to give us a nice crisp finish to our box. And then there's a couple of areas that we need to cut away. As you're looking at your cardstock, you'll see that you have a narrow section at the top and you have a larger one at the bottom. Looking at it at the top, the narrow part at the top, you have 2 boxes, and we need to just cut them 2 away. So taking your scissors and following your score lines, you can just come along and snip these 2 sections completely away. And you should be left with a shape looking like this. We then need to come along, and on either side we're left with 2 score lines. We need to just come along and trim up these on either side. Okay, then we can start building up the box. This part here that we've trimmed away from either side is going to be our lid. So turning over the 2 flaps that you've just cut in, we need to put some glue on there. I'm going to use some Tombow today, but you could use some sticky strip to seal this all down. So if we just pop some glue onto these 2 flaps, and then where the lid part is, these 2 flaps here, we're just going to bring these up to meet them and line up. Just stick them down. Same on the other side. And then you'll be left with this shape, and then we're then going to pop some glue on either side of these tabs, and this will come up just to encase round, completing the box. So pop your glue on, pop that up, stick that into place. There we go. Then we're left with the lid, and I should have done this before I built up the box, but I will continue on. We need to put some Designer Series paper onto the lid here and the flap here. For the lid, the top part, it needs to measure 2 3/8 by 1 3/8, which will sit just on the top here. And then for the flap, Again, you need another piece that measures 2 3/8 by 7/8 of an inch, and this is going to just nestle onto the front here. So I'm just going to use my tombow and just pop them on quickly. Like I say, I should have done this before I built it up. Got too overexcited. Just pop that onto the top. There we go. Right, so that's the box all completely built up. We can then go on to making up our butterfly, etc. So taking a piece of the matching DSP and using my elegant butterfly punch, you can just punch one of them out, and then using some of the matching cardstock, again another butterfly, punch that out, and then using your glue again, if you just run a little bead along the cardstock butterfly, and then taking your designer series paper, just popping that over the top, lining it all up, give it a little tap in the centre, and then we can pop that to one side and leave it to dry. I then got the Itty Bitty Accents flower punch, and I'm punching out 4 flowers from the old olive, and bringing in my sponge mat, I can just pop them all on there, and using a ball tool, the back of your paper's piercer, just give them a squish in the centre, and that helps them all to pop up. Taking some rhinestones, and I'm just popping, oops, one into the centre of each of the flowers. Pick them up today. There we go. And then while I've got the rhinestones here, I'm just going to take 3 of the little rhinestones, bringing the butterfly back in and taking a strip. I'm going to pop them into the centre of the butterfly. Leave that to one side. Oops, one side. And then taking some more of the designer series paper and using the 1 3/4 of an inch by 7/8 of an inch oval, I'm just going to punch one of them out, and then again with the old olive and taking the large scallop oval punch, just punch one of them out too. And then using a piece of snail onto the back of the oval, and then stick that, oops, into the centre. Okay. And then we can start building this all up. So using a couple of dimensionals onto the back of your oval, we can then bring this into your box and just positioning it up to the flap as far as you can with the dimensionals, centralising it, and then bring it down and push that into place, and then that helps to give your securing for your lid. And then taking a little edge piece of the dimensionals and popping that onto the back of your butterfly, and then stick that and an angle onto the oval. Then taking some glue dots and the flowers, we can then pop these all on. So I've got one just on the oval there, and then I'm just clustering the last three on the top of the box in a nice little cluster. Last one. There you go, and that's it. That's the box all done. A bit of an unusual colouring, but I do actually like the old olive and the pinks within this DSP. I think that looks quite nice. Obviously you can then pop up the wings of your butterfly, making it 3D, and there you go, that's it. I think they look very cute. You can pop your little gifts, treats, sweets, whatever you'd like to pop in there. So thank you very much for joining me, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye bye.